about a karmic partner of yours. So I would think most of you would look at this person as an ex. It doesn't necessarily mean that you had to be in an exclusive relationship. You might have just been in that situationship type energy. But this is somebody that you had to learn a lesson, keep it moving, and maybe there were questions as to whether or not something could ever happen in the future if they worked on themselves. If they worked on themselves, right? And you may be surprised that this person is looking for a way to contact you or trying to see you again. And I do feel like they are looking at it as the right time to do so for the right reasons. In other words, I've definitely done plenty of readings where someone comes back around because they're worried they're going to lose you because you've fallen in love with someone else. But this is someone who's coming back around and wanting to pursue another chapter with you after they've actually worked on themselves. So, could be interesting. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. We're going to dive in with we'll go with the Jack-o'-lantern tarot, since it's spooky season. What else do we have? Eight of Pentacles and the Wheel. Page of Swords. Communication that's going to let you in on a secret. Let you know that somebody has been working to change their outcome, working to change themselves, working to change their behavior. This is not somebody who's lazy, right? They're sitting there, maybe everybody else is going to the bar or going shopping, and they're like, nope, I've got things I need to work on. Sorry, I'm busy. Hello, Innocent, how are you doing? So they're ready to communicate, and it's because they feel like they've been able to address those things that caused the problems between the two of you in the past, at least from their end, right? It takes two to tango. There may have been something you needed to work on as well, but they are working on what they can address. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Terminator. How's it going? Five of Swords in the reverse, Two of Pentacles in the reverse, Knight of Wands. So they've been able to address the things that caused them to be non-committal or sabotage good things in their life. They may have been a bit indecisive, the kind of person who would say, yeah, I think about that, but then it never goes anywhere, right? They didn't take action to back up what they were pursuing or interested in. And obviously that would have impacted you if you were dating this person. Hello, Selena. How are you doing? Hello, Tucci. What's going on? Hello, Ricky. Oh, you're getting repeating messages then, Mark? I hope you're having a good day. King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's this desire, there's this, like, I know it could be great if we were at that point where we were ready to be in a stable, committed relationship, but they knew they had things they needed to work on. So Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, you may have just kind of put them in a category of, it's not going to work. I do feel like you eventually had to move on. Hello, Lamar. How are you doing? Hello, Minnesota Picker. It's pretty good today. I still want more like fall-like weather. But if I have to wait a little bit longer for fall in order to not have like a ton of winter, then I guess it's worth it, right? Oh, you too, Moments. So we've got the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Cups. Yeah. They felt trapped. They felt like they probably couldn't make it work. You might have also felt like you were in the Eight of Swords. Like, it seems like there's so much that we have in common, or there's so much great energy between the two of us. You may have even felt like you were in love. But if it felt uncertain what kind of future you could actually have, like, yeah, we can talk about daydreams and how we'd like things to go all day long, but are we actually moving towards that, was an important question that you asked yourself. And I do feel like that's why things came to an end between the two of you. There was at least one of you who said, you know what, maybe this is not a very good use of my time. Maybe I should be focused elsewhere if timing is against us. Seven of Wands. But now they feel like the time is right because they've been able to work on themselves, because maybe they feel better about their finances. Maybe they feel better about how they look, or their health, or their friendships, or what's going on with their family. But when they met you, when they first started to get to know you, maybe even when they fell in love with you, they did not have their ducks in a row. It sounds so British. Are you talking about reading you? Ricky, I do often do personal questions at the end of the general readings, with preference to those who tip or donate. But I do like to do some freebies as well now and then. I will tell you, I've got I got less time right now than I normally do, so I might not do the freebies this time around. But yeah, just be cautious. You don't want to like keep repeating the same comment, because it might end up with you getting timed out, okay? So we have the Ace of Cups and the Sun. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. Or absence, I think, is the saying. I mean, the same general concept applies, right? This is someone who is seeing things more clearly now because they have stepped away from the situation that wasn't working well and tried to work on themselves. This could work for both of you. This could be something that's talking about both of you reallocating your energy and focusing on what you needed to, because it wasn't the right time for that relationship. So when you go into somebody's chat and you say, we hate you, I know you're probably looking for like a negative response, but I'm just going to say, I hope your day gets better, because if that's what you need to do to entertain yourself, I worry about you. So I hope you have some good support. I hope there's somebody that is laughing at your jokes, and I hope you find some better ways to use your energy. Thank you. Hello, Rocky. How are you doing? Hello, Renee. What's up? Hello, Christian. So this is somebody who has acknowledged there was change that needed to take place, acknowledged there were behaviors that were maybe a little bit immature or needed some refining, that maybe they'd been a little bit emotionally withdrawn or unavailable. And if they found somebody that they really do love, or they really do see themselves potentially being happy with long term, then why would they not want to put forth the effort to address that? So this Five of Wands in the reverse, this is about introspection. If it's in the upright, this could be like an argument, or, you know, not seeing eye to eye with someone, right? But with this in the reverse, it's, I need to really think about how I view this, or I really need to think about how I'm going to approach the situation. Hello, Belinda. Hello, Darnell. Hello, Grindhard. Hello, Aqua Beauty. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Illuminati. What else do we have? Ace of Wands in the reverse. Four of Swords. And Page of Cups. So I had a missed opportunity. I met somebody when I wasn't ready. Maybe for some of you, you or your person were in a relationship at the time that you met each other, Props to you if you were able to be respectful of those promises that you had made. But this is someone who's very much so saying, I know it wasn't right. I know that we weren't ready back then. I know it wasn't the right time, but it allowed me to have this inspiration, or you were a catalyst for me to work on the things that I needed to get in order so that I could actually make you an offer, so that I could actually pursue a relationship with you. So I feel like it was the wrong time for a relationship, but it was the right time for them to meet you because you inspired them to make those changes. Hello, Moon Honey, how are you doing? Hello, Bandito, how you doing? Seven of Swords, Two of Wands in the reverse. Wow. Four of Wands and the Six of Swords. So I do think that there could have been some like making promises or talking about things knowing that it may not actually happen, or that it's a pretty difficult thing to do. Maybe they were kind of making a situation sound better than it was, or like it was less work than it really needed. But they feel like they should have been more honest, not just about what was going on for them, but how they felt. And even if it was the wrong time, they think about that all the time. Should I have been more honest? Should I have been more clear? Should I have told this person I'm going to work on myself for you? But we have the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords because they're saying it's the right time. I've got things in order. I feel better about my situation. So if I don't have anything holding me back, then I'm going to come back around and see if maybe, just maybe, we could like get this thing off the ground, right? This is the Voyage of the Soul. Likewise, Darnell. Thank you, Zelina. Did I say hello to Grindhard? I can't remember. I'm sorry. Hello if I did not. So we have the Indulge card and Polarity again. Polarity was in the earlier reading. So we've got laughter, pleasure, bliss, vacation, escape, and rebel, along with contrast, resistance, pull, yin and yang, and magnetic. That's what I'm talking about. So they may have been kind of caught up in just enjoying their life and not really working on themselves. Maybe they were in a bit of a dead-end job, or maybe they weren't really holding themselves to a high standard of behavior. And then when they're in this like, I do what I want kind of energy, they meet you. And you're not like others, okay? You're difficult to forget. You stand out in a crowd. And this is saying that your ability to kind of boop this person on the head and get them a little bit starstruck, it motivated them. It got them to realize, I could work on this, I could do that, I could get myself in a better living situation, or I could get a better job or go back to school. They are not stagnant anymore because they encountered you. Hello, Cashew, how you doing? Hello, Jiggle. What else? Split and Seeking. Head versus Heart, Two Worlds, Transition and Ego Death. And Soul Searching, Treasures, Uncover, Dormant, Gifts, and Answers. You may find that things are a little bit easier for you to understand because your intuition is really at an all-time high. You have more self-awareness, but that was something they found really attractive about you and something that they wanted to figure out for themselves. Maybe life would be easier if I could work on these things instead of ignoring them. So you got this person to go through that dark night of the soul, or to go through some spiritual awakening, to look within and change what had been blocking them. This is the Pulp Tarot. Yeah, cashew. I don't know what that means. And I try to keep things moderated on here. With a different language, that means I can't do that. Or Rachel can't do that. And if you all have a moment, go send Rachel some positive energy. Just like a little abundance. Little like, boop, thank you for being awesome. Because she moderates with the best of them. And then we got grind hard with the jokes too. Look, you guys, this is somebody who is not messing around. I don't want to lose you. I refuse to lose you. There's nobody out here like you. So I either have to like get serious and address these behaviors or these problems that have, you know, caused me to feel like I can't really be in a relationship or have made me struggle with the emotional side of commitment. If I can address those things, if I can be honest with myself about it, then I'll be in fighting shape. Then I'll actually be like, I don't know, a catch. They knew that it was going to be some work, and they felt that all good things require at least a little bit of work, right? Hello, IG, how you doing? Oh, I love that. Did I say hello to Darnell? Hello, Joa, how you doing? Thank you for the tip. Where is Raquel? I got you. You're top of my list, just so you know, Joelle. And I'm not going to go too long for this reading, so I would guess I'll start with the personal questions probably around the 30-minute mark, and we're at 17 and a half right now. Hello, Dr. Emery. How you doing? Top of the morning. Well, it's almost 2 o'clock p.m. here, but I'll allow it. They are pretty awesome, aren't they? So we've got Justice and Hermit in the reverse. If I was the problem, if I was the reason that we couldn't be together when I met you, I could sit around and mope and be upset and think about how life's not fair. Or I could count my lucky stars that the problem is something that I can actually impact. If you can't be together because of something that is completely out of your control, like, womp, 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 womp. But if there's something that you are empowered to change that enables you to be with somebody that you want to be with, good news, you're in control. You can change the outcome. That's what this person did. So like props to them, because they're like, oh, cool. Let me just like put on like, you know, my Carhartt outfit and my hat, and we'll just like get down to it. What do we have to do? Sign me up. I'll do it. They were not afraid of the work, like a lot of people are. They wanted to elevate that existence, right? They didn't want to continue with the same BS, or they didn't want to continue to look for an amazing connection with others when they knew that they had that with you. So we have this 3 of Swords, a period of separation. If I want to get to a point where I can be in this healthy relationship, if I want to improve my life, it might require that I have a little bit of separation, or I might have to step back, right? Yep. I have some. Big surprise, they're green. Does that mean that I don't have a bunch of clothes with paint on it? No. Oh, thank you, hon. And the work that I did today will make... When it will? Or will? I think... Okay, you said this month. When will work from today make effect? I got you. Thank you. So we've got Judgment. If I don't want this to be over, if I don't want to lose you, if I feel like I would never be able to find someone like you anyways, then I'm not going to just like sit around and hope for the best. I'm going to take matters into my own hands and find out what I can do. I do think this is somebody who had to address how they make money, where they work, who they hang out with. There's negative influences that were surrounding this person, or may still have a little influence, but they were aware of this. So I need a new job, or I need some new friends, or I need to maybe cut off somebody from my family. They knew there were things that needed to be addressed. And I do feel like at least an ex or some bad influence friend would have been one of the obstacles. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Penny. How are you doing? Ooh, Salvador, what's your intuition tell you? Ace of Wands, Six of Swords, and the Three of Wands in the reverse. This person's going to come back and ask for a second chance. They're going to be looking good or feeling good. They're going to have more confidence than they had in the past. And they're going to want something serious. And I think you might have a little bit of a shocked Pikachu face when this happens. You may not expect this person to have been willing to go through all of that effort or cut off people that maybe were a negative influence on them. You may have expected them to continue on with the same old, right? All right, let's get another tarot deck. This is the Weird Cat Tarot. Thank you, Rachel. So we have the Seven of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. Part of the reason they were stuck was because of who they associate with. So if they have friends that are no bueno, if they have family members that were a bad influence, or maybe even taught them that love wasn't worth their time, they've decided to like distance themselves from that, or even go no contact. Page of Wands. I do feel like you're going to hear about this. Eight of Wands and the Six of Swords. They're going to tell you about how their life has gotten easier now that they're on their own. So maybe you told them that they were friends with people that they probably couldn't trust. Maybe you were advising them how difficult it was for you to move on from a group of friends that maybe was a little bit mixed bag kind of thing. Hello, Duncan. How are you doing? Hey, Michael. I hope things improve for you. Thank you, Penny. That's so sweet. So, Page of Cups in the reverse. Three of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. There was a sadness in this person that they really worked to hide from others. This could be like the kind of person who always has jokes but never really shares what they're going through, and people just assume everything's always great for them, but in reality, they're going through it. I don't think this is someone who knows how to be very expressive with their emotions, or they were not taught to be when they were younger. Might have been something they had to work on so that they could feel like they could express their emotions properly to you. I'll try to help with that, Michael. And I hope that improves for you. What else do we have? Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Justice in the reverse. Ace of Wands in the reverse. King of Swords in the reverse. Here's the deal. I think you have the ability to steer this person away from calamity, which maybe sounds really dramatic. There's this huge storm headed right for where this person was or for people around them. Let's just sensationalize it, shall we? Let's pretend that you're in love with somebody who is mixed up in crime, okay? Some crimes. There might be somebody who has, to this day, not really had any trouble evading accountability for their choices, even though they're illegal. And in the near future, that good luck is going to run out. And if this person was still hanging out with that individual, they may have had some sort of consequences as well. Now, obviously, that's not going to be the case for literally all of you. That's more of an analogy, but it's that proximity to poor decisions that they didn't seem to take seriously at the outset when you met them. They were probably just kind of like dismissive of it, like, yeah, I don't really agree with everything that they do, but like, whatever, to each their own. They're still my buddy. I've known them forever. There is this acknowledgement that it's important to know what energy surrounds you and what influences are out there that could actually block you. They started to take it more seriously that maybe the people that you hang out with have an influence over what actually happens in your life too. Guilty by association kind of energy, right? Hello, Cass. How you doing? Hello, Mike. Hello, Key Controller. What's up? We've got Trinity, number 3, balancing decisions, priorities, and adapting to change. So if I want a different situation, if I don't want to be repeating the same routine or dealing with people I can't trust, if I don't want to let go of that person that I fell in love with, then I need to make some difficult decisions and make some changes. Hello, Renee. How are you doing? Hello, Brennan. Hello, Yesenia. How are you doing? Hello, Booney. I think I said Booney instead of Boomy. Sorry. In my defense, I've had no Dr. Pepper today. So we've got the stand, which is number 40. Courage, determination, fearlessness, and flight. Opportunity, prosperity, new venture, and don't wait. They're like, what am I defending this current situation for? I could go and have a new experience or a new life and get a new job, have a happy existence, and work towards things that are actually important to me instead of feeling like everything is just like the same every day. Yes, exactly. What else do we have? Haunted house. Within these haunted walls, secrets reside. Ghosts are just memories that will never die. There is lingering resentment for the influences, the friends, or the family members of this. Have I not even named this individual? Who are you? Yes. I mean, I'm tempted to call him the Wheel of Fortune because they're changing. And the Queen of Swords. Remember, this could be somebody of any gender. It doesn't really matter. But this is somebody who is making the right choice and creating boundaries. So I think I will refer to them as the Queen of Swords. This Queen of Swords is in love with someone else, probably you, although you could be the Queen of Swords. And they're realizing that part of those bad behaviors that they've picked up, it's because they don't really distance themselves from people who are making decisions they don't agree with. And that sabotaging relationship energy is something that was like real common with this group of friends or with this family. Hello, Merida. How are you doing? Thank you. We've got Mystic Swamp, deep, dark waters, your reflection you can't see. You won't find yourself if you don't go deep. They're starting to realize who they are because they met you. Interesting. Are you a mirror? You showed them that they were happy to imitate others around them that they didn't really look up to or didn't really want to be like. That they were just working to fit in even though they didn't really like who they were dealing with. And then they met you and realized, oh, maybe I could like either be more authentic or choose something different for myself or not have to follow in the footsteps of everybody else around me or everybody in my family. Maybe, just maybe, I could go elsewhere and leave this in the past. They have had to reflect on who they really are and admit that they're not like the people that they've been surrounding themselves with. That there's something better out there for them. All right, this is the situations deck. High five to you as well. Hello. Fatijo? Fifijo? Maybe it's Fifi Joe. Because I see a dog. Anyways, hello. Hello, Imran. How are you doing? Rachel, you crack me up. So we've got someone who's saying, maybe if the group of people that I hang out with require that I sacrifice the love that has inspired me, then maybe I should walk away from the people who don't want me to pursue what makes me happy. Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to forget about someone who I love and instead just hang out with people who I can't trust? No. Now there are people talking about this Queen of Swords being obsessed with you. Did you hear what so-and-so did? Did you hear that they're moving out? Did you hear they found a new job? Did you hear that they're going to go pursue a relationship with so-and-so? Did you hear that they're not talking to their best friend anymore? Everybody's all up in your business, or all up in their business at least, because this is somebody who has changed significantly. I just heard Fergie. I've been working on my fitness. He's my witness. So maybe also going to the gym, right? Good for you, XX. You deserve the best. Thank you. Yep. Hello, Zaria. I do ask you to be tolerant or respectful of others' beliefs, but yes. So we've got grip, anchor, chains, and weighed down. They were so convinced they couldn't be with you because of their circumstances until they empowered themselves to realize they could change those circumstances. Now they're breaking free of those things that they felt meant they couldn't be with you. And people are like in shock, like, oh my gosh, look at that person changing their life. That's weird. How dare they? Maybe we have some people who are jealous. Maybe we have some people who feel like they weren't able to do that or they couldn't do that. But yeah, that's interesting. All right, I'm gonna start with the personal questions. We've got, we got 2 questions for you. Where is Raquel right now? Let's see what we get. Where is Raquel right now? Nine of Crystals, or the 9 of Swords, and the 10 of Wicks, or 10 of Wands. Five of Petals. Does she have any need to see a doctor or like a specialist, or is she working on her fitness? This feels to me like she's going through something she doesn't really enjoy, but she feels like she has to do. But it's like, if I had the choice, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this. So a sense of obligation Two of Wicks or Two of Wands. I feel like this is an appointment or an invitation. Again, there's a sense of obligation or responsibility. It's not like, oh, somebody invited me to like a really awesome baseball game. I'm going to have the time of my life. This is more like, I have to be here. I don't really want to, but, you know, it'll be over soon. This too shall pass. Oh, interesting. Judgment in the reverse fell way to the side and I had not noticed it yet. Why Judgment in the reverse? Oh, because it's not really her choice. But she does feel like she has to do it. And then when will the work from today make an effect for Joao? Nine of Jars or the Nine of Cups. Page of Wicks or Page of Wands in the reverse. The Lovers. I see a change of seasons. It's like a... How do I say this? Okay, so first we have the Nine of Jars. I do feel like because we have 6 jars separated up here that we're talking about within 6 weeks or 6 months. But when we add to that the Page of Wicks or the Page of Wands in the reverse, we also have a candle that is not lit. I feel like it's a dry season. And I know you have a different season than I do, but the number 6 is important. I do feel like it's cold or dry, but right before something is about to start. I do think you're going to get confirmation regarding this in a dream, or like a heads up as far as the timeline. So I don't know if you do like a dream journal or anything. Yeah, so 6 weeks would make sense then. So yeah, within 6 weeks looks like the answer. And we've got Ace of Jars or Ace of Cups in the reverse. Is it weird that I feel like you know what this is? Will you be upset if I just leave the card for you? Because I think you know. Yep. You'll get the outcome you want. All right, and then, hold on a second. I think it was Michael. So, Michael, you just went through some deactivated energy. I just want to... So, I feel that this is a reference to some like spell work being reversed. Ace of Cups or Ace of Jars. Ace of Cups would be like love, but it's empty. Does that help? Sorry, I shouldn't assume those things. I do feel like there's someone here who has been playing around and their efforts are going to not work out. So for Michael, good luck with that, by the way. For Michael, what's going on with regards to deactivation and steps forward? There's something here that you don't see. There's a secretive energy. But I do feel like things are going to be better for you. The letter A is important. So will there still be success here for Michael? In a different way than you expect, or in a different path forward, which could mean a new account, right? Or a new brand. We've got the Eight of Jars or the Eight of Cups. This is saying there was a required step of like walking away from one thing in order to get another thing. So it may actually end up getting you in a place where you get a better situation than you would have if you'd gone with the first thing. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.